Hello guys, welcome to Before 30. Should I say welcome or welcome back to Before 30? We've been away for such a long time, but we are back. Yeah, I'm so excited guys, very excited. We're back for good, and thank you to everyone who stayed on my case to ensure that this returns. I appreciate all of you, and I promise that it's gonna get better, very much better. Yeah, so this is the first episode of our comeback, and coincidentally it's Independence Day, so we're dedicating this episode to the Nigeria's Independence Day celebration. It's 61 years we've come so far, and I can say Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence Day to all of you, to you watching. Happy Independence Day to you, your family, and I hope you find a reason to celebrate your dear country, my country, your country, Nigeria. Okay, so on today's episode, I have someone who I'm going to be talking with. He is someone who I consider to be a go-getter. Yes, he is, and he's a young Nigerian who is making impact, and I thought who would be better to bring on this show to talk about Nigeria if not someone who has an in-depth understanding of do I say leadership? Yes, leadership, and everything regarding youth and nation building. Yes, I have Victor Oba in the studio. He's going to be on the show with me today, and we're going to be talking about Nigeria's independence. How far so far, we've come a long way. 61 years is a lot, and is there really anything to celebrate? Do we have a cause to really say Happy Independence Day? Just stay tuned. Myself and Victor will get into this conversation, and I hope you enjoy it. Please stay tuned. This is Before 30. Hi guys, welcome back to Before 30. My name is George, and it's the Independence Day special, which also happens to be the first episode since the comeback of Before 30. I know you guys have missed us, but we're back, and back for good. So today I have with me Victor Oba in the studio. Victor Oba is someone I consider to be a go-getter. Yes, he is. We're not here today to talk about him, though he does so much. In fact, he inspires me so much. He really does inspire me so much. But we're not talking about him today. We're talking about Nigeria. It's Independence Day. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. I don't know if there's anything to be happy about, but yeah, it's Independence Day, and that's what we're talking about today. So it's a privilege to have you, Victor. Thank you in the studio.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you for honoring the invitation, even as short as it was.
Yeah. Thank you to all the viewers also for giving part.
Yes. Awesome. So we're going to go straight into it.
All right.
Talking about Nigeria, it's Independence Day. I don't know, I've had conversation with a whole lot of persons, and I've even heard, the older folks talk, and they say that there's really nothing to be happy about when you tell them Happy Independence Day. And I'm like, okay, is this for real? 61 years, and we still don't think there's anything to celebrate. What's your view on this?
I think it's a view that is filled with mixed feelings.
Okay.
Right? So the pandemic taught me a lot of things here. It taught me that as much as there were a lot of people that were complaining about the fact that there was a lockdown and there was this and there was that, there were a lot of people that still gained from the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to learn now that perspective is we shouldn't have fixed perspectives. So as much as we want to say that 61 years has really been not what we expected, because a country like Nigeria, you get to realize that the expectations are high.
Very high.
Very high expectations we have, because we feel, or because I think that there are a lot of resources there are a lot of resources that are available to us that we have not yet maximized enough to be able to see the nation that we should be proud of. But as a young person, I would also look at it from the perspective of the fact that Nigeria as a platform is really, as a nation rather, it's a really hard place to be in. However,
that's very true.
From the understanding that we're in such a place, it has sort of like refined a lot of us.
True.
The Nigeria as a nation has sort of built this tenacity, this grit in a lot of young people to be able to become more for themselves. I mean, the average Nigerian is into 4 different things at the same time. Right? So if these resources were available, probably we would not have that level of creativity, have that level of resourcefulness. So I think 61 years we could do better. That's my thing. We could do better, far way better than we're currently doing now.
So, I know that we can do better, but do you think there's any reason to be happy? Like, okay, let me say, I say to you, happy independence.
Happy independence, and I'll just laugh back at you. Where there's something to be, there are a lot of things to be happy for, but I'll just be happy 50%. Maybe I'll just keep the remaining 50% to myself.
Okay.
But I would say that happy independence, I would laugh and tell you that I'm happy 50%. I think for me it's just I'm in the middle. Because why you should not come on.
Okay. So of course I conducted some vox pop on the streets, and I was in a conversation with one of these guys who hawk in traffic, and then I said to him, it's Independence Day, do you think there's anything to celebrate? He said, no, I'm not happy. I said, why are you not happy? Are you unhappy with your business or with Nigeria? He said he's unhappy with Nigeria, he's not happy. I said, okay, so if I say happy independence to you now, you won't. He said, no, there's nothing like, there's no happiness, but then I get his grievance, I get it. So, moving on, let's talk about inclusion of young people into politics. Do you think that this would have any effects, positive effects, in how things are turning out? Do you think that youths can do better? A whole lot of people have always said, give youth a chance, let youth be included and all of it, but do you think that anything can get better?
I think really that, so when it comes to inclusion of young people in politics, I think that we have a generation of, with myself, we have a generation of young people that we do a lot of talking. Right? Which is actually one of the requirements of changing the narrative of any society. We do a lot of talking, we begin by having conversations. But however, I think that when it comes to we going out there to be that, I think one of my work, I said something, I said, it's like you would see 1 million people on Twitter that would say, we're coming out on this day for so and so protest. And then on the day of the protest, you see about 50 people.
That's true.
The system of the politics of Nigeria has sort of like intentionally excluded a certain set of people out of it. Like I said, intentionally. Right? Something we as a nation, we have had that system where if you come with the intent that you want to change Nigeria, the system itself will put you out. So when you see that replicate itself over time, right? It in as much as you want to be a part, it will draw you back, right? And you should understand also that we live in a country where you have a court case and it can take you 5 years to solve that court case. So the processes to actually the process to actually be inspired to do something, even as much as you are inspired, the process itself is not really inspiring. It's for you to be a part of it. If you want to be part of something, there's a way you paint something, there's a way you paint a message, there's a way you paint a vision. It would allure me to want to be a part of it. So I think that it is the structure. The few people that are young, that have done good things, that have done a little bit of stride, if they can make the system a little bit more, more conducive, let me use that word. So it's not the fact that we don't want to be a part. We will when the system is inviting enough. There are a lot of young people that are doing stuff at their own level. And in fact, sometimes also we have to understand that there are some things that if it is not in the face of people, if it has not blown, we will not appreciate it. We will not want to be a part of it. So I think that there are small processes that people are doing on the ground level that when we continue to do the ripple effect of that process, we begin to reflect in the bigger scale. So I think that yes, for the people doing big stuff, like I don't want to say like myself because I wouldn't lie. At this point of my life, I won't say I'm interested in politics, but probably in the next 5 years. Right? Of course, we hope for a better Nigeria in the next 5 years. So next 5 years, I believe that I'm going to be intentional about it, about that stuff. So, but then there are people that I see whose work I really follow, that are young like myself, who are doing great things. So yes, I believe so. I believe so. We'll get to a point where if you are not even interested, like it will look like a taboo,
exactly.
not to be interested.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay, I have another question regarding this politics thing and inclusion of the youth, but we'll take that when we return after the break. Alright guys, welcome back. It's still before 30 with George, and I still have Victor Oba in the studio. Of course, if you've been listening to us, we've been talking about Nigeria, we've been talking about the Independence Day and how it relates to youth. Of course, Before 30 is a platform where youths are featured, youths are inspired, youths are encouraged. Yeah, so that's what today's episode is all about. Yeah, so moving on, talking about politics, I want to, because I always feel that at some point in my life, I felt I could, get into politics, I could do that. But I know you've talked about if we have that opportunity to be included, that we would get interested in it. Do you think that with the way things are, with the way, the older folks are recycled in the system, do you think that there's any possibility that we would have that space?
Amazingly, I like how you put it, recycling. So I was listening to a live by Johnny BD and Queen Olakule Soria, and then he said something that in the next 30 years, all of the people that we look up to, all of the people in different spheres, politics, spirituality, religion, education, all of those 7 mountains of life, just like you have said, recycling. They would either have died or they would just time. Time has a way of working. Right? Time is something that is beyond man. Right? Whether you like it or not, there will be a time when you just be dedicated. You would sit back and you have to see things and go. However, I think one of the things I'm very scared of is mentorship. It's a good thing. So I'll explain why I'm scared of mentorship. Most of these leaders that we sort of have come to realize that they were not really worthy of the positions where we put them. In terms of intentionally changing the nation, they did not do anything of that sort. They've groomed people. My only fear is that when they come to that point of their lives where they have become relegated, they won't sit and have people, the product of who they are, on the positions where right sane people are supposed to sit upon to intentionally create change and still call the shots. So I think that it's intentional, it's very vital for us to begin to take our stand now. Right? Because if in that, 30 years to my time I'll be 55, which means that one of my work I told myself, right from when I was young, I always said I wanted to be president. And I had no idea that I was in Nigeria. I had no understanding of how politics works. I just saw this. I felt at the time that the only way I could change the world was by being the president because of the enormous power that was regarded to that.
Yes.
And it's also an illusion. The average person wants to first of all become a president. My understanding of politics really is if you can try as much as possible to become the local government chairman of your space, start from there.
And do well there.
When you have that track record, that's what we believe. We believe in track record. Right? So when you consistently become the person we are looking up to you to become, it will be easier for us to believe in politics.
True.
So whatever the case may be, just like I said, I'm scared of mentorship in terms of politics. So let's intentionally place ourselves strategically. We might not necessarily have positions that have been attached to our names. But let's find ourselves in their meetings. Let's hear what they are saying behind our backs. When we consistently do that for 2 years, we also have a say. Right? You attend a meeting for a while, they begin to ask you, what are your thoughts? Right? So the problem is we are not finding ourselves in the spaces where decisions are made. I was speaking at one place one time and I said, do you know that now that we are here, there are people making decisions about Lagos State somewhere. There's a meeting going on somewhere that will decide. In the morning when they come to tell you on the news, you don't have a choice. You would abide by that word that is made. So for us as young people, I think let's find ourselves where the decisions are made. It could be platforms online, right, where secrets are being unleashed of, go to this so and so space that doing something here, go to this ward in so space that doing something there. So when because I feel that part of the problem also is we lack information, right? We don't know what is going. We really don't know what is going on in terms of politics, right? So let's get information. information they say is power, also the use of that information, right?
Yeah.
So let's get involved where these meetings are taking place. So we consistently do that over time. I believe that there's hope.
I believe so too.
I believe that so. I mean, hope is the ingredient of any future.
Of course. Yeah. All right. So there's this one more question that ran through my head. It was actually a conversation I dropped on. I think the older folks actually recently. One said he doesn't think that Nigeria should have gained independence when we did.
Yeah.
That we probably should have allowed the white man, take charge for some time. And then another said we're not ready at the time. You get that we just had to take it because others had taken it, so we felt it was time. And then blah blah blah. Do you think that that's the case? We probably should have stayed more in the hands of the white man.
Anyways, like I've done a little bit of a study as to that, but then not like I went deep into it. But then when you hear a truth that is consistently talked about over time, I think there was a time when I began to follow Vusi Dembeboyo. So Vusi Dembeboyo is an entrepreneur in South Africa, and he sees that most times like South Africa got independence too early. When you come to Nigeria, I think it's not really about. It's as much as there's a truth in that. It's not really about the fact that we got independence too early. I think we had really bright minds, and that's why most older folks will tell you that we are not serious in our generation, because the people who grew, the people who stood and collected this independence as it were in their 25s, 27s, 29s, and probably the fact that probably there was this military thing going on. So most of them just went to the army, come out and became something that something really tangible in society. But however, I think the real question is, what is the intent? What was the intent behind me collecting independence at the time we collected it? Right? I did a little bit of a study and I realized that it was just like we sent away the white man to become the white man. Right? The sect of people decided that, I think I like what this white man is doing. Let's chase him away. Let's take the position. At least it will be between ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you get? And the intent for me really it was not really about the fact that we got it early. Of course, when you get something early, you might not be able to handle it. But then, when you use the first 10 years, you can grow in that.
Yeah.
Right? I think Olakunle Soyinka was also saying something as regards to the fact that there were no manuals for leadership at the time when we got independence. However, if we had the intent of really making the nation a better place, if we have done it by trial and error for 10 years or for 15 years, then we would have learned a few things that would intentionally replicate in politics. But when we have gone 61 years down the line and a young man is still saying I'm happy 50% with my nation, it means that we've not intentionally worked upon the nation. So I think that it wasn't really about the fact that we got it early. I mean, starting early is good, starting small is good, right? But it's just that our intent, the intention behind the independence was not really pure at the time, right? So that's really how I see it.
I see. Thank you very much on that. Okay, so there's this, a trending, is it slang now or a word on Twitter, about people jackbuying. Okay, so it's everywhere on Twitter. Lots of people are happy. The VPN thing, this one says, I'm done using VPN, and all of it. Now directed to you, is that something you're planning to do?
Amazingly, this morning, not this morning, I think yesterday, there's this tweet that's been going really viral that UK needs some number of trouble.
Yes, I saw that too.
This morning I just sat and I looked at it. Victor, wait to learn this thing within 2 weeks, and as much as I tell people, if that's comfortable with you, first off, you have to understand that we all have our personal dreams, we all have our personal ambitions, and you must come to a point in life where you're really honest with yourself. And if I'm being honest with myself, if I have all of the things I need to jump as it were, I definitely will jump out. I might not, for my person, I might not really jump out for the fact that I'm not coming again. I hate Nigeria. It will shock you that I saw a tweet also a few days before I saw the content as regards the truck drivers. That someone was saying that, do you know that Nigerians go abroad, spend about 20-25 years, and it's like jazz. They want to come back to Nigeria. True. And like they really want to come back and settle. Do you get?
True.
So sometimes I think probably when you when it's an experience that probably a lot of us as young people have defined in our mind that let us first have it.
Yeah.
I can't, then I should.
Let me get there first.
Let me get there first. For me, most people, right? Let me get there first. Let me make a life out of myself, right? And the fact that, I mean, when you get there, the stress on life is not as much as it is here. And also, people there will tell you the stress on their lives is not as much as it is here. Exactly. So like it's a paradox. That's why I'm saying that the most important thing is if you want to go. So that in the next 5 years you won't say that was the excuse. So you won't hate yourself for not making that choice at the time. I mean, one of my mentors told me at the time that before coronavirus started, he came over to Nigeria and it happened in Nigeria. And he regretted for deciding to come to Nigeria. I think it was in Texas or so at the time. And then his friends were saying, what do you want to come and do in Nigeria? And then he came and then COVID happened. Do you get? So for some of us, it's the idea that let's have a taste of it. If that is where we're going to, I think I was speaking to a friend earlier this morning and the friend was saying something that the whole family contributed a lot to make sure that the brother traveled abroad. And the guys are abroad now. And the amazing thing is in the first 6 months, all of that investment and stress that they put into making sure this guy he definitely will get back return on investment. Right? Probably maybe 6 months or 1 year. He definitely will get it back. So the truth is experience it. If you're going, if that's the next point of your life. I don't know what is written in your personal journal. I don't know what your dreams are. I don't know what your ambitions are. If that is one of the things you really want to look out to do, and like I said, if I have all of the resources that I'm looking for, but I might not be in this interview right now.
Okay. So lastly on this, do you think that that has any way of what was the word now? Do you think that has any effect on the change that we need here in Nigeria?
Definitely. It has a little bit of an effect because, well, as much as it is an effect, it's also like there's also the advantage to it. Because I mean, the exposure abroad, when you get that exposure and come back here, there's a difference. There's a way you run things. You run things differently. There's a deeper insight to how you make decisions. However, also you have to understand that Nigeria is not a fully formed nation. We need the best hands. Right, so if out of the pressure of the fact that the country is the way it is, and then we japa as it were, then where's that percentage of people that will intentionally want to change the nation? So that's one of the adverse effects of it, the fact that a lot of creative minds, especially creativity for example, all of these things that we do, we know how much it will be appreciated in that market. You won't put in as much work. There are many bright minds in Nigeria, I tell you. So when that percentage of bright minds begin to japa, it will definitely affect the quality. It would affect the chances that we have. It will affect the chances that we have. But however, it is also the idea that they're not going there to play, right? They are also going there to be better versions of themselves. And whatever value they get from that place, we just hope that in one way or the other, they would also begin to push conversations around the intentional change of Nigeria. Just as the truth is right, I think we're postponing the probability of a great nation. That's just the truth. Like the more we make decisions like that, the more we make decisions of not including ourselves in politics, the more we look away from these things that happen, we keep on postponing the date of the betterment of our nation. Right? So we must come to understand that we need good hands. Right? It might not happen, and that's the thing with consistency. Don't believe that at the start of your first day when you went to college or PVC, when you first voted, they will count you. They might not. It might not happen now. Right? When we got independence, there was a certain vision that was sold to the people, and they chanted after it. Now, probably 30 years down the line, 40 years down the line, they got to realize that we've been sold crap. So now that we want to intentionally change the nation, let's not expect also that everything will happen today. It's a process.
Amazing. You hear it, there's a process to the change that we want. Of course, they promised us change at some point, and you and I know that.
I mean, now we know the meaning of change. So if you come next time and say change, what will we do to you?
You're right. Thank you so much, Victor. Alright, so before we end the show, we would want to, listen to what some young persons had to say on the streets, because we went out to, talk to some young persons about Nigeria, about Independence Day, and these are what they had to say. This is Before 30.
Hi guys, my name is George and this is Before 30. It's a program where we feature the young, the vibrant and the amazingly talented persons. We're in the streets of Lagos trying to find out what the Nigerian youths think about the situation of the country. Because the Independence Day is close and here is what we're doing. It's Before 30 guys, catch you.
This is Before 30.
Hello, my name is Michael Iye, fintech person and web designer to Supertech. The Nigerian youth we are actually we are hardworking people. We are very focused, but our government has made things very difficult for us. First of all, reduce taxes and then provide job opportunities. A lot of people are starting up businesses, but the government are piling tax upon tax on them and it is really unbearable. I pray we go higher and become better.
Hey, I'm Ujunwa Echezolachi Bini, a resident of Lagos State and a bona fide Nigerian. Tomato went from 40 naira per sachet to 120. Now it's just struggling at 100 naira. And you wonder how the common man, like us, obviously no one would think it's good. It's not appealing at all. It's not appealing. And we have a government who doesn't exactly look like they're willing to do what it takes. But we hope that, we can be able to rise above this, especially now that we're celebrating independence. This is a time where we need to go back to the drawing board and really think about the things that we've gotten wrong as a nation and try to see how we can do better as opposed to repeating the mistakes of yesterday.
Hi, my name is Iwaha. I'm a customer service representative. Yes, I believe in Nigeria. Nigeria is a great nation and has great potentials in need. We have great people and we believe that over time the Nigeria of our dream will come forth. The economy of Nigeria currently is not favoring me, but I believe we are already in Nigeria and this is our home. We have to look for a way and make sure we stay alive every day. And also I think the government should look deep into the youths of Nigeria, look deep into the people. There are a lot of potentials in Nigeria. There are a lot of people with skills, a lot of people with knowledge that will help the economy of Nigeria. All they need to do is look inward and stop looking outward. Okay, it's Nigerians Independence Day. Happy Independence to everyone, and we believe and we pray that Nigeria will get better.
Hi, my name is Win Sam. I so much believe in the potentials of the Nigerian youth. I believe that this country is headed forward, is headed towards greatness, even though the things that we see right now may not look like it. But I believe that the future generations of this country have a lot to live for, and I'm looking forward to the better Nigeria, a greater Nigeria, and a better tomorrow for every one of us.
Hey, my name is Anthony Vitri. I'm a student right now and aspiring to be a great footballer in future. And the situation of Nigeria educational system now is getting to, we can't really say it's stabilized now because there are many things we are seeing in school, but all we just pray for is the best to come out in with the students that are aspiring to be great people in the future and great leaders, the future of Nigeria. We keep praying that the educational level of Nigeria will get to a higher realm, that it can both pick up both the little and the intelligent one. I believe in my country. I hear so many people say that they prefer going outside country to make a better living or to make it in life, but I believe where God puts me, I can make it there.
Hi, my name is Emeka Daniel. I'm pharmaceutical sales rep. So the Nigerian system does not actually favor the youth, the upcoming, but then the Nigerian youth are people who thrive, who try whatever thing they need to do to survive, and that gives a sense of hope for the country. Well, what I'm going to say is just basically prayers. I pray that it gets better in the next 4-5 years. I pray that before we start giving birth to children, things are very easy for the kids, the coming generations. I want to use this opportunity to wish Nigeria a happy independence, and we know things are not going the way they are supposed to, and we believe that someday it will get better. Happy independence, Nigeria.
This is Before 30. Alright, welcome back guys. It's still Before 30. My name is George and I'm here with Victor Oba, and we've been talking Nigeria, Independence Day and all of it, the youth, and there's a lot to talk about really, but there's a limit to what we can discuss here based on time and of course censorship. Yeah. So you've listened to the young people on the streets, what their view and what they had to say about independence, their grievances and all of it. We just believe that it gets better. We believe that it would get better. Hopefully it would. So Mr. Victor, what are your last words? What do you want to say to our fellow young people out there?
Well, I would just, they used to say that the problem is not Nigeria, and the problem is Nigerians. And I've heard that a lot. I've seen that they used to say the problem is Nigerians. So the problem is Nigeria and Nigerians rather. So if there's anything I'd like to say is, first off, build the nation you desire in yourself, right? And in your space, build your own nation within your space, so that any leadership position where you find yourself, you'll be influencing someone else to enjoy leadership. Right? I just wish that the leadership capacity that we have in the religious sector, I mean not 100% anyway, but then we've really found some amazing leaders that have grown people over time in the religious sector, and I wish that that would replicate itself in the political sphere. But what is important is that we build the nation we desire in our own personal lives. So in the space where you find yourself, in your business, in your career, in whatever it is that you're doing, let that Nigeria you desire be the template on which you run your business. Let it be the template on which you run your life. Let it be the template on which you run whatever it is that you're doing. So that in itself begins to replicate. People come to your brand and be like, oh, I just like your leadership style. I like the way you're doing your stuff. So when you replicate yourself over time, anybody can become president from your sample. It will be easier for us to see a better Nigeria from that perspective. So yes, I think that Nigeria begins with that one person. Right? It begins with that one person. So if that one person is sane enough to see a better nation, that will replicate over time. So and we should also understand that these things don't happen overnight. Right? It's a consistent process. I've come to realize the definition of consistency myself, practiced over time. Right? At the beginning it might not look like it. It would not even look like it, right? But I feel that if we begin to work upon it now, our children will be having a different conversation as regards Nigeria. You go to a place where you used to know it is no longer a Jambadi. It is now like a tush name. And you be telling your kids that when that place was still a Jambadi. Do you get? So if we consistently as fathers, I mean we're going to be fathers. Now that we are young, let's put in that work so that when we become fathers, we will not be having the conversations our fathers had with us. Right? It will be different narrative entirely. So yes, that's how I see it.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've heard it. It takes process. And of course, Nigeria begins with you. It begins with me. It begins with all of us. If we get it right on our own, then it will be a collective success. Thank you so much, Victor.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Like I said, we'll have you again and we'll talk about all that you do, because I know there's a lot that you do. We'll have you again certainly before 30. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. We appreciate you, and happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day.
It's so sad we don't have wine here. We would have celebrated, but. So guys, there you have it. Thank you so much, and looking forward to having you watch this, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because we'll be bringing more videos, inspiring videos your way, and this is what we do on Before 30 really. Thank you for staying tuned. See you next time. This is Before 30.